Just look at how nervous Liam in the middle there is. Paul with the thumbs up. And there's Father Paul as well. Callum just out of shot. They've taken their place. Massive, massive entourage in there for Pedraza. And Stephen Smith, some familiar figures around him. Joe Gallagher is in his corner. Mick Williamson, the cuts man, has flown in. Scott Quigg, the third man in that corner as well. But the Liverpool contingent a little bit overshadowed by the flags and the voices of Puerto Rico in here this evening. But when that first bell goes, forget supporters, forget entourages. It's just you and the other guy. And Stephen Smith, well, you heard from him earlier. Well, I've been in a lot of dressing rooms. As we look at the tail of the tape, I've been in a lot of dressing rooms just prior to a fight, and Stephen Smith really is in a good place. He was a little bit tight and anxious at the weigh-in, but that's not unusual. Once he'd rehydrated, he was back to his normal self. And talking about rehydration, the weight is the interesting one here, because Smith put on the 10 pounds. He wasn't allowed to put on any more than that under the ruling of the sanctioning body. Pedraza just the 7 pounds. So as of this morning, there was a 3-pound weight differential between the two of them in Smith's favor. And one thing that Smith doesn't get a lot of credit for is his power. He does hit hard.
Dual double world title bouts, and it's all brought to you by DeBella Entertainment and Showtime, sponsored by Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina. This bout in the ring is presented in conjunction with Gary Shaw Productions and Universal Promotions, and is sanctioned by the IBF, the president, Daryl Peoples, supervisor, Randy Newman. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring this bout from ringside, from Avon, Connecticut, Glenn Feldman. From Connecticut, Eddie Scunzio, and from Groton, Connecticut, Don Trella. Introducing our 3rd man of the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, Eddie Claudio. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing you first on my right, the challenger, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with red and white trim, fighting out of it, representing the renowned boxing family from Liverpool, England. He weighed in at a ready 129 pounds. His record stands at 23 wins, 1 loss, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, making his first attempt at a world title, please welcome the challenger, the IBF #1 world ranked contender, introducing Swifty Stephen Smith. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with blue trim, fighting out of and proudly representing Sidra, Puerto Rico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 129 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 21 wins, no losses, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the 2nd defense of his title. Introducing the undefeated IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, please welcome Jose Sniper Pedraza. Once again, a referee in charge. Now to get instructions, Eddie Claudio.
Come on, Steven.
Belly button on the shorts, boss.
The who?
Belly button.
He's got it. Vente, José. José, yo te di la instrucción en el camerino. Steven, I gave you the instructions in the dressing room. Lo que yo pido es una pelea limpia, me obedece y te proteja en todo momento. All I ask for is a good, clean fight. Protect yourself and obey my commands at all times. God bless you both. Touch him up. Let's get popping.
A long wait this then for Stephen Smith, but now he's got Jose Pedraza exactly where he wants him. Can he complete his mission to become world champion? this for the IBF super featherweight title. 2 British boxers have boxed for this before. Najib Daho in 1986, Floyd Havard, the Welshman, in 1994, both unsuccessful. Smith looking to make it 3rd time lucky here. And one of the things Joe Gallagher, his trainer, was saying is Pedraza is a good, natural, fast starter. They don't want him to have that. They want to make some early inroads here so that he doesn't get too comfortable. Caught with an early right hand there. Smith tagging him nice and early, but then Pedraza settling down with a raking jab of his own. But I think Gallagher's right. If you let this fella get comfortable, if you let him keep it at range, he will outbox most super featherweights in the world.
Well, Pedraza likes to find a rhythm and keep that rhythm going. He doesn't mind throwing a lot of punches, doesn't mind being aggressive. He's tricky. I think his nickname, the Sniper, just about sums him up. You know, he brings punches from unusual angles. He's comfortable, orthodox or southpaw, making Smith miss there. But this is a good start from Smith.
It is.
Good solid looking start, good confident looking start.
There's a left hook in there from Smith, who's staying out of range as well. And this very, very versatile champion at the moment, boxing orthodox. You heard the guys in the studio talking about the Edna Cherry fight. He finished that fight. Spent the last 5 rounds in southpaw. He is comfortable in both stances. What he tends to do is box complete rounds in one stance or another, rather than switch hit mid-round.
I think Smith's going to have to deal with the jab, whether it's the southpaw or the orthodox, because it's quite accurate and it's quick. Good right hand from Pedraza there as well. He's scoring with the jab. Smith maybe setting himself up looking for power, or maybe he should just relax into this. Just find the range before you think about the power. Not much to split them so far, but Pedraza's jab, there he's in his... A good attack there from Smith, but he'll get clipped on the way in again. He's very quick, Pedraza. There's that jab again.
Yeah, he's having some success with this, and that counter, as you say, that was very sharp and fast and accurate from Pedraza.
I just think Smith is looking for power too early. I'd like to see him just relax a bit more than he's doing. Just let it flow a little bit more. I think he wants to hurt. I think he wants to get an early impression, which is a good idea, boxing away from home. But if you rely on power, you wind up, and sometimes you can slow down. Good jab there from Smith. Not a bad opening round. Maybe Pedraza just sneaking the odd jab home and so forth.
The jab's been an eye catcher from Pedraza, and that's the problem for Smith here. Well, we've seen a few times he's looked to try and get inside, rough him up. That's what Edna Cherry did, and with some success. Spencer Oliver not the only one who thought that Cherry might have done enough to win that one. Didn't get it on the cards. But Smith certainly enjoying some moments here in this opening round and looking far from overawed and certainly not outclassed.
What I told you, okay? Accidental.
Okay. Yeah, boxing really well. Use your feet. I don't remember what we said. When he jabs, all right, if you're not there for the jab, just step back, all right, okay? And he stops throwing, okay? Good round.
And Joe Gallagher happy enough with that opening session. And always so important when you're the challenger on the road in a world title fight. Get that first 3 minutes out of the way unscathed. Have some success as well. Then you feel you can settle down and really work your way into the fight. Staying in orthodox here, Pedraza.
All right, let's go. Hands are free. Hands are free. Let him go,
He's
Steve.
rangy, he's long-limbed, not as tall as they were expecting when they actually went head-to-head in New York earlier this week. Joe Gallagher was pleasantly surprised that he wasn't towering over Smith. Clipped him there with the right hand, and Smith felt that. Really good shot there, and he's got him another one here. And Smith's got to watch it because that's 2 big right hands Pedraza's landed in this second round.
See, Smith's trading when maybe he should be covering up. Those are a couple of good shots he took there. It just shows the speed, the quickness of Pedraza. Now this is good work from Pedraza.
And Smith looking to rally himself.
Do something about it, yep.
Pedraza ripping an uppercut in there, and Smith just biting down on the gum shield. I mean, not everything's landing from Pedraza, but there were some very solid punches that did get through, and they were accurate and they were hurtful looking. Smith's taken them well, but he doesn't want to take too much more of that.
See, the good upper body movement from Pedraza. You know, it's a good technique. He bobs and weaves. You don't know when the punch is coming and what angle it's coming from. I still feel Stephen Smith is looking for power, and maybe he should just relax a little bit more, get the body shots home. That's good stuff, but there's Pedraza again with that jab. He's so good at long range.
Yeah, and if Smith allows it to stay at long range, he's going to be in trouble, and he's having real problems with this Pedraza jab here.
And I wonder what's going to happen if he switches to southpaw. He's not going to switch to southpaw because he's having so much success with the left jab from the orthodox stance. Not a good round so far for Stephen Smith.
No, Pedraza with a really confident look about him, and there's that jab rocking Smith's head back.
Smith standing a bit too tall as he backs off.
And just getting picked off. These are good shots from Pedraza. Smith really digging in, trying to tough this out. But he's taken a lot of punishment in this second round, and it continues to come his way.
And constant movement from Pedraza, which is giving him all sorts of problems. Even when Smith lands, the sting's taken out of the shots because he's riding the shots, moving with them. This is really clever stuff from the champion.
And the head movement from Smith as well there's room for improvement there. That's why those jabs are landing so accurately, so regularly. And there's another one. He's followed up with the right hand. Got the counters in there, Smith. He's sticking around here, Stephen Smith, but he doesn't want too many more rounds like this. This is a clear round in favour of the champion.
He's not dealing with the jab. That's the big problem. The jab is the big problem. Yeah, the head's coming together a couple of times as well, but you can see Smith, he's looking to wind up the power in the shots, whereas Pedraza's finding that rhythm that we were hoping he wouldn't find. Smith has to start dealing with the jab.
Yeah, that has to be neutralised. And he needs to just get inside and try and rough Pedraza up as well, because Pedraza working behind that jab at range is going to win this fight. So what adjustments can Stephen Smith make now as we go into round 3 of this 12-rounder?
See, you can't ask Stephen Smith to start more body movement than he's used to doing, change his style. If you change your style, you're the one at the disadvantage. He's got to box the way he always boxes, but make it work, and it's difficult against this constantly moving target in front of him.
As you say, Jim, not a sniff of the southpaw stance. And Smith looks to try and launch one of his own assaults there, and then Pedraza comes back at him with solid body shots. He's comfortable orthodox, and while that jab, as you say, is working, don't expect him to change it.
It's as though Smith doesn't see the jab coming, or he feels he's out of range. Yeah, but just out it comes. Just not dealing with it. There it goes again. You know, he steps in behind it, and the way he crouches forward gives him another couple of inches on the jab. It's better from Smith. But just struggling to land cleanly, Smith. This guy's just constant, perpetual movement.
Yeah, very, very fluid look about him. Footwork's terrific from Pedraza so far. Just pivoting away there, getting himself some space. And Smith's just not able to cut down this distance, not able to get out of the way of these jabs. Very wary of what Pedraza's throwing at him. They've been talking all week about he likes to set traps, Pedraza. They're wary of walking into them.
Well, Smith's backing him up for most of this round, but you don't really feel that he's making it pay. Not really getting an advantage out of it, and there's the jab back out again.
Smith trying to get his own jab going. But there's a real bite behind that jab from Pedraza as well, isn't there? It's really snapped out.
I think we're going to have to see some combinations from Smith. You try to be precise with these guys, you're not going to land with single shots. Ah, good right hand from Pedraza again. Good response from Smith.
Smith responded well.
But I think they were blocked though, but he got the punches off. I think combinations, if you're trying to be too precise against a slick fellow like this, it's not going to work. It's so difficult to advise what to do with this guy. He really is clever.
But he's sticking to this, Stephen Smith. He's having sporadic success.
Now watch him coming out for a big start here at the beginning of the round, all right? Yeah, I'll give you that round. You feel okay? Good lad. Okay, watch when he comes, when he wants to come. Just go for a walk. Use your legs.
Well, you heard Joe Gallagher there telling Stephen Smith that he gave him that third round, but I just wonder if that's a bit of psychology to make Stephen feel that he still is in this.
He did better in the third round, but I think he's still struggling with the jab and the rhythm that Pedraza is finding.
He's just comfortable, isn't he? You can just see it in his movement, the champion. Moving really well, but he started well when he won the title against the Russian Klimov, and then it all became a bit stodgy and boring, that fight. And it was the same with Edna Cherry. A good start and kind of faded away and was really made to work for it. So here he is again with the good start. Can Smith just drag him into something? They talked about taking him into deep water. Well, there are questions about Pedraza's temperament. He's one of those flat track bully types. When it's going well, he's really good, but if you make him grit his teeth, he doesn't fancy it quite so much. Smith's got to do that, just make him feel, oh, this is hard graft. And at the moment, it's just too easy for Pedraza to get better again, though, from Smith, who's made a much more positive start here in round 4.
Yeah, I like these little bursts of punches that he's throwing now, Smith. There's more chance that he's going to get some success. He's not going to win the battle of the jabs, but he's dealing with Pedraza better in this round. Not producing terrific work himself, but that's better. This is good stuff from him.
Very clever shot. They like that in the Smith corner. Pedraza took it well.
A lot of Pedraza's work out of range in this round.
Well, he's stepped off the gas here, Pedraza.
Either that or Smith finding the answer. This is much better from Stephen Smith.
Well, Pedraza looking to try and get on the front foot. A bit of damage around the eye, the right eye. Stephen Smith, Mick Williamson was working pretty hard on that between rounds.
No, well, nothing that Pedraza has done in this round has raised the eyebrows, has it? He's quiet. Smith's looking good and solid.
Can't see much of that Pedraza jab for a start. That's the really good news for Smith. Better again from Smith, yeah. Now Pedraza looking to try and work the body, but Smith is on it.
Oh, that was a stumble, that was a push. That was only a push, nothing like it, no punch landed there.
But nevertheless, much better this for Stephen Smith as we get down to the last 10 seconds or so of this 4th round.
Maybe not the style of boxing that we're used to seeing from Stephen Smith, but he's made it work, which is good. Good right hand from Pedraza there.
Seconds out!
Okay.
Seconds
And your
out!
toes double open.
Round 5 then. Stephen Smith on my card getting the first round of the fight in that last round. Can he continue to build on that?
Well, I'm sure Pedraza's corner would have told him to rev things up a bit. He was very quiet in the 4th round.
He went back to his corner though, Jim, raising his arm in triumph, and it's a very pro Pedraza house here as well. They've cheered every time he's thrown a punch, whether it's landed or not. So he certainly went back feeling very comfortable. But I'm sure just he's such a puzzle, isn't he? He's such a difficult guy to fathom out, as you say. He can box southpaw or orthodox. He can bring pressure. He can box on the back foot as well. And Smith landing a decent right hand there as well. He's starting to settle down and warm into this. He's got to watch for those traps that Pedraza might be laying, but that was another solid little raid there from Smith. And again, Pedraza Just struggling with his accuracy and his range a little bit, as he did in the last round. Smith again getting nicely out of range as Pedraza continues to look to try and find an opening, and that jab has just gone off the radar at the moment.
Yeah, well, we're saying Smith had to deal with the jab, and I think he's doing that with the range. He's just sitting slightly out of range, then picking his moments to move in and get some punches off. So, you know, he's measuring the range nicely. And Pedraza's struggling to find the success he found earlier. Better.
Yeah,
again,
the body work
Smith.
again. Sharp and crisp. A nice little raid from Smith. He did his sparring with southpaw and orthodox sparring partners. They brought in a couple of tall southpaws. Thomas Stalker from just down the road, and Peter Cope, a tall southpaw from Hartlepool. Again, good work from Smith, whose orthodox sparring was with Zelfa Barrett, Pat Barrett's very promising young nephew. With the three main sparring partners, but they really had to prepare for just about everything you could throw at him, and Smith is doing a nice job just going in, landing his combinations and getting out, and Pedraza's work rate has really dropped off a cliff here. He's just doing nothing.
Yep, he's producing absolutely nothing, Pedraza. This is good stuff for Smith. I mean, if you can get rounds in the bank without totally exerting yourself, and he's dealing with a jab, very few jabs getting through now. Pedraza struggling with the range. Good little shot chopping punches from Smith.
Yeah, it's much harder for Pedraza to land clean here, isn't it? Another decent round this for Stephen Smith, who's narrowed it up on my card. Much better. And he knows it. Well, they've got some adjustments to do here. That's his stepfather, Luis Espada, who runs the corner. He can be a moody character. I said that earlier, Jim, that this is a guy who moans and groans. He's not at all media friendly. He complains that he's not a superstar back in Puerto Rico. Doesn't do much to make himself a star. There's certainly tension in the camp between the stepfather and the trainer and the promotional side of things with Lou DiBella. They are not all pulling in the right direction, and I've just always had the feeling that if they can make this fella feel sorry for himself, that's a great place for Stephen Smith to be.
I think he might be a good on-top fighter. He had to struggle in that round to make an impact, and he didn't do it. He didn't try hard enough. He just kept doing what he was doing, which didn't seem to be working. So unless he gets back to doing what he was doing in the first three rounds, stepping in behind the punches and putting them together, then you know, things have certainly swung in Steve Smith's favour.
Well, Pedraza switched into southpaw when the going got tough against Edna Cherry. He hasn't done that here yet. Nice little left hook around the back of the guard there from Smith, who really is starting to find some rhythm here. But he's got to keep that jab of Pedraza's completely under control. Again, good body work, and again, out of range as Pedraza tried to throw his punches. He's doing a terrific job here, Smith, of making Pedraza miss, something he wasn't able to do in those first three rounds. Again, nice body work.
Yeah, Pedraza's trying to raise the pace, but not getting things in place the way he was doing in the early rounds. Certainly improved his work a little bit, but still good work coming back from Smith.
Nice right hook to the body to finish that little attack there from Pedraza.
Come on, hands are free, let's go. Break out of there. Oh, come on, punch out, work out of there, work out of there.
I think the referee should be breaking them up here.
I was just about to say, Jim, he's kept his nose out of this, pretty much, the referee. And again, Smith having the better of the exchanges. He certainly is going to let him work, this referee. As you say, a lot of referees would have broken up at that point, but not this one. And again, Pedraza, you're not looking at the kind of rhythm and flow, and certainly not the success.
I think he's doing a little bit better now, Nick. He's making Smith miss. He's getting the jab moving again. Close round this one. There's that jab again. Smith did well in the early part of it. Pedraza's beginning to force things again, force the pace a bit more.
It's such a good weapon for him, that jab. It impresses the judges, and it certainly has an effect on Smith, whose left eye really is starting to get messy. Right eye, excuse me. And again, Smith sticking to it. This is a close round. It's very close round.
In this round, not a lot in it.
This is where he needs to go to the Arthur Abraham school of finishing a round strongly here, Smith. And really make the judges think, yeah, I bossed that round. Trying to work inside here, working the body. Just trying to rough him up. It is a good, strong finish. How much of this is landing clean, though, is another matter. But he was certainly throwing a lot of bombs there in the last few seconds. And he didn't look so comfortable, Pedraza, going back to his corner at the end of that round.
Caiga. Vamos a mantenernos en el boxeo de ya, porque te está tirando 3 golpes en combinación, ¿me entiendes? Y te está alcanzando, vamos.
Right eye as well.
Yeah, I think he responded in that round. You know, he picked the pace back up again.
Ya que venga, vamos a jugar con él, que
missed
venga,
quite
para
a
pararlo con
bit.
el
It was a tough round to score. It was close.
También.
That was one of the rounds that really could go one way or the other.
Estamos bien aquí, lo único que tienen que caminar es que sea fuerte.
Looking at your card, I think you gave it to Pedraza, I gave it to Smith, but it's one of those that you wouldn't have any huge confidence either way.
Stephen, let's go. We're halfway there, Stephen, halfway there. Round 7.
So round 7 of this IBF super featherweight battle, a division that's threatening to get very, very hot in the not too distant future. Vasyl Lomachenko, the current WBO featherweight champion, is moving into this division. He'll take on Roman Martinez, the WBO champion, in June. Nicholas Walters, the big punching man from Montego Bay, Jamaica. Looks like he's outgrown the featherweight division as well, and he's going to be operating in this division. And there's confirmation of your card, Jim. You've got Pedraza for 2.
Yep, a good start from Pedraza, and then he kind of dug in a little bit in the previous round, although that was a really close round. He's looking a little bit slick again, Pedraza. Looks as though he's trying to draw Smith in. A little hint that he was going to switch to southpaw there, but didn't do it. Smith just a little bit hesitant at the moment. When he lets them go, he wants to take them out in 2s and 3s. Seeing the kind of sneaky stuff at the moment from Pedraza.
Yeah, and I think Smith's aware that he doesn't want to walk into a trap here, as Pedraza has dropped his guard right down, as if to say to Smith, right, come on then, take your shot.
Yeah, he's just keeping it at arm's length, Smith. He's not making any silly mistakes. He's keeping it tight.
Good solid shot there from Pedraza, but Smith again has taken it and dug in. Nice little right hand from Smith over the top. That was a clever shot. Noticeable that where Pedraza was throwing a lot of punches, coming in with combinations, it's more single punches the longer this fight's going.
He's on the front foot again, Pedraza. Trying to find that rhythm again.
Yeah, Smith couldn't punish him with the counter there, though. There's the single right hand again.
Oh,
if the jab starts coming back into play, Smith's got a problem, and there it is. It's starting to find its range again. And Smith can't find the counters in this round.
See, I thought he was missing a lot in the previous round, Smith. Pedraza, you know, as I said, calling him himself the sniper. That's what he's like. You know, a good jab there from Smith. That was good.
But he took one first. He got in there with a left hand, Smith.
Yeah, but he took a right as well. You know, it's... We've seen some clever stuff from Pedraza in this round, I think. Again,
Smith landed, but it was the counter coming back from Pedraza that really caught the eye on the bell. Pedraza once again goes back to his corner, happy. Smith going back.
Big breath, suck it up.
Let's see what Joe Gallagher makes of this.
Yeah, okay. Listen, we're boxing well there at times.
Yeah, we're both exchanging solid shots, and I've always felt that Smith is the puncher of the two, but it's difficult to time this guy, the constant movement. He's back with that upper body movement again. And again, both they're landing good solid shots there. But I did feel that Pedraza had the better of things in that round.
Looked more confident. A lot more confident in that last round, Pedraza. Round 8. Stephen Smith from Liverpool looking to become the second Smith brother to win a world title. The first Englishman to win this particular belt, and the 13th British and Irish world champion. He's in it, but he's fallen behind.
He's standing with his head high, a little bit high at the moment, Smith. But I mean, that is the way he boxes. You can't ask him to change. He's just got to make what he does work, which is no easy task here.
Smith uncorked one of the best uppercuts seen in a long time in the British ring against one of Lee Selby's stablemates, Gary Buckland. That one in the British version of this title. I haven't seen him even try to land an uppercut in this fight so far.
But I think that's the quality of Pedraza. You know, good fighters that don't give you the same opportunities. You know, he's not really got himself into a position to get the uppercuts going. I'd like to have seen more body work from him, but again, it's easier said than done. Good stuff there from him.
Yep, doubled up the left hand, body to head. Pedraza's just gone a little bit lazy again in this round. The work rate's dropped again. Can Smith capitalise?
Good work there from Smith, the right hand. I like when he puts punches together. Trying to be precise against this guy. I don't think it's working. 2s and 3s.
I tell you, when that right hand landed, Paul Smith was out of his seat. But Pedraza's allowing Stephen Smith just to nick this round. He's just not doing anything himself. Smith with the initiative here. What's Pedraza up to? Is he laying a trap?
It's as though he's looking for the power, Pedraza. I mean, he's not a massive puncher, but it's as though he's setting himself for that right hand. But we're not seeing it. Smith just working the range really well in this round.
Certainly when he's got up to this kind of level, Pedraza's power has dropped off, as so often happens anyway. You know, he's when he won his Eliminator, that was on points. He won his world title on points. He's defended it on points as well. And although he's hit Smith with plenty of shots, certainly in those first 3 rounds, it was just the once there was a little buckle from Stephen, and apart from that, though, he's looked very, very solid and compact. And again, he's making Pedraza miss here. This has not been a good round for Pedraza at all. And a good little flurry there from Smith, just to reinforce the fact that he is taking this round.
Yep, I like Smith in this round. That was good work.
Go home, Stephen.
Yeah, he knows it. Much better round for Stephen Smith. Well, which way is this one going to go? As we are down to the business end of it now. If you agree with Jim, it's a 2-point advantage for Pedraza. I've got it level, but there was certainly that one round you could have seen it either way. Clearly Pedraza won the first 3 rounds, then allowed Smith to get back into it, and Smith certainly won that last round as well. I tell you, whoever's got the conditioning and the strong finish here, they could pick up the belt, you know. And Smith's conditioning apparently has been terrific in this camp. I know they always say that, but that's the message that's been coming out of the Gallagher gym in Bolton.
All right, switched on. Let's go.
Yeah, Gallagher knows it. He's in this. My colleagues at Showtime, they have it level after 8, 4 apiece.
All right, break. Step back, both feet, step back. Come on.
But worth repeating again, one of those rounds really was what you liked. It was razor tight. So, 4 to go. Pedraza again reaching without success.
Yep, I think Smith is working the range so well. He's just sitting just almost in range, just inviting Pedraza to reach for the punches.
Oh, he landed with that right hand.
Got that one home.
Yeah, but Smith's taken it well and attacks the body. Not really been able to dominate inside Smith as he would have liked to. When he's got in range, Pedraza with those long levers of his has managed to tie him up pretty well. I mean, he certainly hasn't roughed him up the way Cherry was roughing him up.
Yeah, I wonder what would happen.
Tagged him, but he got tagged back.
He's down.
And put on the floor.
Down, yeah. That's a knockdown.
Oh, he's frustrated with himself. He just landed a good shot of his own, and he just got caught on the counter. And that's a big, big difference maker in what has been a pretty close fight. I don't think he was badly hurt, but he certainly walked onto it. Now he's really going to have to finish this round strongly. Still a long way to go. Pedraza's looking for the big finish here if he can pull it off.
And that was just the last thing that Smith needed. He was getting himself into things. He was boxing well. He was controlled, working out the range. Then what a cruel game this is. This is not a good round for him.
No. And Pedraza's confidence has swung right back up again, and he's just picking Smith off at will here. These are big shots coming in, and Smith is in big trouble and is starting to unravel, and there's still nearly a full minute left in the round. Pedraza in full cry here.
Yeah, you can see he's moving from side to side. You can see the technique coming back. The confidence is in his boxing now, Pedraza. Smith is going to have to bite down in the gum shield, get back to the corner, get his head cleared, and start all over again. What a disaster for him in this round.
Really. And they've been talking all week, we mustn't walk into one of those traps, and it's happened a few times when they've both landed together, that Pedraza has seen the punch coming and just pinged out a counter, and that's what got Smith. We'll have another look at it.
Pedraza's not wasting anything. Okay, he maybe fancies the chance has gone. You know, he's not blowing himself out. A good shot from Smith, he takes one back again.
Yeah, Pedraza's soaking this up. Now there's daylight between them. Clearly, Smith on the floor, not a heavy knockdown, but it was a clear knockdown, no argument.
Okay, all right.
Here it is.
That was just such a pity. Bang on the point of the chin. Down he went. The glove touches, it's a knockdown. The glove touches the floor, it's a knockdown. He almost...
Look, he landed, but then it's his balance as much as anything. Look, he hadn't got his feet back under him when that shot came in.
And you look at that, you know, he swings out to southpaw to deliver that right hand. We haven't seen him a southpaw all night long, but just for that one punch, he swung around and get the whole body weight behind the punch.
That's really clever. And there's the reaction. A 10-8 round puts Jose Pedraza in the driving seat in this one with 3 to play.
And he's dropping his hands, he's strutting now, Pedraza. Yep, he feels he has things where he wants them to be, so it's up to Smith now to dig in now, produce something. Oh, good stuff.
That was a terrific combination from Pedraza. How sharp and accurate was that? Oh, and that was a hurtful left hand as well. The spray flying up from the head of Stephen Smith.
See, I'm just wondering when your confidence is dented the way it's just happened to Smith.
He's getting taken apart. He's really getting hurt badly here in this opening minute. And Pedraza's moving in for the finish here. Smith's got to regroup quickly. Caught again, and he just can't miss him now, Pedraza.
Smith has to think defence. He can't be thinking to wind up big shots himself. Get the chin down, the hands up. Looks as though his head's cleared again, but some damage is done here.
Pedraza's just teeing off where he wants now. All that accuracy that disappeared from him in those middle rounds, it's come back now. As you say, the hands have dropped. He's got some swagger about him, Pedraza. Thought he might have just kept his foot down here because he had Smith in trouble. He takes the right hand, but Pedraza saw it coming. He just was turning his head, so he just took the force away from it. He is very slick, isn't he, this Pedraza? He really knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and Smith's kind of walking onto the shots. He's trying to produce something himself.
Well, he's in such a bad place now, isn't he, Stephen? He knows he'll be behind. And this is another round that you can't make a case for him winning it. Better, though, from Smith, as Pedraza just got a little bit lazy. But he needs a huge finish to this round, Stephen Smith, because certainly the first minute, it was all Pedraza, and he just wondered if Smith was going to start to unravel.
Pedraza looks so comfortable tonight. He looks as though he can do this all night long. See, is that rhythm? Nothing's forced. That looked like a low shot from Pedraza.
But did you see when Smith tried to land the right-hand counter, he just turned his head again. It's hard for Stephen to find anything clean to land on at the moment. Out of range there, couldn't follow up with the right hand as well. And Pedraza tries to turn his man. But he's just comfortable now, isn't he? Pedraza, and for all his work from Smith, landing clean is so difficult for him, and he got tagged again with the left. And whichever way you're reading this fight, a big, big gap has opened up now. It's going to be very, very hard for Stephen Smith to come back from this. That's a 3-point differential for me, and it's even wider on your card, Jim.
Yeah, I've got it wider for the one round, that one close round. So really huge mountain to climb for Smith.
Or throw your shots and just claim him, okay? Yeah, up close. Okay? You've got to watch that left hook and right hand as you come in, all right? Have them hands up, slip either side, all right? Right, come on. All right, you've got to punish this body
with some
now.
words of advice there, and Joe Gallagher's last words were go for the body. Keeping calm, Gallagher, not yelling and shouting. There's no need to do that because Smith's putting everything he's got into this, but look at that. Fast double jab, followed up again from Pedraza, and already he's landed 4 jabs in the first 5 or 6 seconds of this round. It's Smith that needs the huge finish. He probably needs to put this fella on the floor. But it's Pedraza who's just looking confident, solid, relaxed, comfortable, and in control of this.
Yeah, I just wonder, I mean, Smith has been winding up looking for solid punches. Sometimes when you're a little bit tense, you burn up the energy. But he is still looking strong, but still looks to be setting himself for big punches. Maybe he feels that scoring a knockdown is the only way to salvage. That's good stuff from him there.
Well, it is, Jim, isn't it? I mean, he's got to put this guy on the floor. What a pivotal moment what that knockdown was. That one little mistake that Stephen Smith's made. He's done such a good job of avoiding the traps. Good work again from Smith. Gallagher, you can hear him over the crowd just yelling, go for the body, go for the body.
I feel it would have been nice if he had gone for the body earlier, but against good fighters, Nick, it's difficult.
Exactly.
You don't get close enough.
Well, those first 3 rounds, I look back at those first 3 rounds, he just couldn't find any kind of range at all, Smith. Getting it again, picking some nice shots here, but Pedraza catching him with another one of those solid right-hand counters, but Smith again gets his combination away. Whether the judges would have seen that is another matter, of course, because he landed one big right hand that everybody oohed and ahed about. Smith came back with a lovely 2-punch combination, which nobody reacted to.
Now, this is a good round. This is really good stuff we're seeing here from both men. Really, it has been a good battle all the way through. Quality.
Smith's first foray into world class, of course. He certainly hasn't been outclassed, has he? You sometimes see British guys going for it and just think with the best will in the world, they're not quite at that level. You know, Smith, if he does get on the wrong end of this one, I mean, there's a lot of positives to take out of this. And he's still in there battling. And he's making Pedraza work for this. Nice little left hand there as well. Winning the round for me.
Yep. Yeah, this has been a good response from Smith. He's dug in. He's set the pace in this round. Taken a few along the way, but not really produced here.
Lovely round this from Smith. It really is. He's regrouped so well. He knows it. Happy again, but the bottom line is I think Pedraza knows it and everybody else knows it. The only way the belt is changing hands tonight is if this fella gets knocked out. And I can't think through 11 rounds of one moment when Stephen Smith has rocked this man.
No, it hasn't really. I really felt Smith was the puncher of the two. But this guy is constant movement. He's so difficult to catch cleanly, and if you catch him with the first punch, he's not there for the second one. I just think all the way through he's been a little bit too slick for Smith.
Big finish, keep it tight when you're thrown, all right? Like I said before, throw, bang, 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 and then lean onto him. Don't let him come back at you, all right, okay? Get your shots off and hit round them elbows. Right? Stick up both last round. You want to go ball over.
Brave effort this from Stephen Smith as the two fighters embrace in mutual respect. Can he find another gear here in these last 3 minutes and take this crown from Jose Pedraza, or will the Puerto Rican keep that belt? Pedraza again, just keeping it nicely at range, continuing to work the body here, Smith, but he needs to do more than this. The pressure needs to be intense. This is a go for broke time for Stephen Smith.
Yeah, I wonder if Pedraza maybe coached a little bit in this last round. I mean, thinking boxers are sometimes guilty of that. They think they have it in the bag, which is not necessarily the case. There have been enough close rounds to say there does need to be too much in this. I just feel most of the way Pedraza's been that little bit slick.
And Pedraza tempting Smith in again. And again, Smith going for it.
See, it's so difficult for Smith to land cleanly.
Yeah.
The guy, his reflexes are razor sharp, that constant movement. He sees the punches coming, just slips at the last second.
I mean, his range, his knowledge of range is terrific, and his reflexes, the way he's turned his head as Smith's thrown some big punches. There's another one, and he is just turning the head away, so it's just taking all the power out of the Smith shot. So hard for him just to land anything clean, and we get down to the last minute of this one.
It's becoming a little bit scrappy now. I think they're both feeling the pace a bit. A good left hook from Pedraza there.
Pedraza looking for the big finish here. A couple of good left hooks coming in. Smith digging in, finding a response, but then a long raking right hand from Pedraza. It looks like he might be going for broke here himself in the last 30 seconds. He's got Smith backed up. And he is finishing like a champion here, Pedraza. If it was close, he's trying to erase it here. It's a huge, huge finish from Jose Pedraza. Smith digging in, sucking it up. Game and brave till the end. But there's only one winner of this one for me. Gutsy and tough from Stephen Smith. You're going to feel heartbroken for him. But Pedraza's done enough for me to hang on to that belt. Good fight, two good pros. Now Pedraza is lifted onto the shoulders of his trainer, and immediately Gallagher follows suit. The kidology begins here. But those scorecards will be getting tallied up. 2 from Connecticut, 1 from New York State. How do they see it?
Well, I have 3 points up for Pedraza. Yeah, I've got it 3 points up to Pedraza. Just thinking about the whole spectacle, I just don't feel Smith did enough over the 12 rounds. He had some terrific rounds, enough close rounds to swing it one way or the other. But I was really impressed by Pedraza, the slickness, the cleverness, just picking his moments when to the, and then that was a knockdown.
That's the pivotal moment.
Yeah, that just kind of put it out of Stephen Smith's reach. He was doing well at that point in the fight, closing the gap on my card, but that just seemed to turn it in his favour, and from that point, well, for a couple of rounds, Pedraza was roaring like a lion. He fancied he could get the finish, and he produced some good stuff. Looking at both camps, you know, looking at people's faces, you can see I don't think the Smith camp feel they've done enough.
No.
But what a terrific challenge. If he gets it, well and good.
I'm looking at the brothers, Callum, Liam, Paul, and Father Paul Sr. No smiles on those faces. Joe Gallagher is not smiling. Stephen Smith is off the floor now. Well, as you say, and the other entourage, they're looking at job done. So close, though, up until that knockdown. That was the turning point, clearly. So in Showtime and myself, 4-all after 8. You slightly in Pedraza's favour, but that was a razor-close one. But that knockdown, and then the subsequent round after that, that was the one that really made it get away from Stephen Smith. Suddenly it's a mountain he's got to climb, and this fellow wouldn't let him back in. Good fight, though, and Stephen Smith was not outclassed, not out of his depth. And will have taken so much from this. We'll hope to come again, but it's a hard road back to a world title shot. Here's the official scoring.
The judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Our judge at ringside, Eddie Scunzio, scores the bout 117 to 110. Judges Don Trella and Glenn Feldman both score the bout 116 to 111. All three in favor of the winner. And still the undefeated IBF Junior Lightweight World Champion, Jose Sniper Pedraza.
Will translate for us. What do you think was the difference in this fight? A very difficult and tough fight.
Felicidades, José. ¿Cuál fue la gran diferencia en esta pelea? Que fue una pelea difícil.
Mira, definitivamente fue una pelea muy difícil, pero gracias al entrenamiento y tanto tiempo de entrenamiento, un campamento muy largo, logramos mejorar mis habilidades y obtuvimos la victoria.
Definitely was a tough fight, but the training really came to our advantage in this fight. We really trained hard for this fight.
Then you went to the 9th round and you connected on that big right hand. That set the stage because you got a 2-point round. Did you feel at that point that it was your fight going forward?
En el noveno asalto vino a donde los tumbaste. ¿Tú pensaste que después de ese, cuando los tumbaste, que iba a ganar la pelea?
Mira, no. Le conecté un buen golpe, pero yo siempre estuve consciente de que estaba bien porque sé que vino bien preparado desde el primer asalto. Supimos que vino bien preparado. Y simplemente mantuvimos la calma para ver si le dábamos otro buen golpe.
Yeah, I knew that that right hand had hurt him, but I knew he was a tough fighter, so I was always aware to make sure that he didn't counterattack or anything.
A lot of criticism after the Cherry decision. Did you feel as though you fought a much more disciplined fight this evening?
Mucha crítica después de la pelea de Cherry. ¿Tú crees que ahora esta pelea fue mucho más disciplinada?
Definitivamente. Fue un mejor campamento. Tuvimos, como dije anteriormente, fue un campamento largo donde mejoramos mis habilidades. Pero definitivamente hubo mucha controversia con la de Cherry, pero definitivamente fue una victoria clara.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of controversy for that fight, but for this camp, we definitely prepared ourselves, and that's what it showed tonight.
Jose, congratulations.
Muchas gracias, Jaime, muchas gracias a Showtime, y espero ser la próxima estrella de Showtime.
I don't speak much Spanish, but thanks to Al Heyman and thanks to Showtime, and thank you to you, Mark.